Let's find the domain of f of x equals 5x minus 2. This is your line equation, and y has a slope of 5 and a y-intercept of negative 2. What's the domain? We know how to sketch this line. Minus 2 means you go down here, and a slope of 5 means you go 5 up, 1 to the right. So it's quite steep. So let's just connect these 2 points, and you can see this line extends towards forever up there and forever down here. And yes, indeed, even though this graph is quite steep, this graph opens up towards the left all the way towards x is negative infinity, all the way towards the right where x is positive infinity. So it's forever to forever. You could say all real numbers. You could also say from negative infinity to infinity using this notation here. X belongs to this smallest number to the biggest number. A rounded bracket means not including the endpoints because you can't equal infinity. Infinity is just an idea. Or we could say from negative infinity less than x less than infinity. This is also okay. Next, let's evaluate f of 3. When x is 3, you just replace x with 3. So y, or f of x, is equals to 5 times 3 minus 2. Direct substitution. 5 times 3 is 15, minus 2 is 13. Now let's practice interpreting the meaning of this line equation. V of t equals 50 minus 2t. This is supposed to be a t. Represents the volume of gas with respect to time. See the following graph. So this is like saying y equals 50 minus 2x. How many hours until the car runs out of gas? So in the context of this problem, we have volume at here around 50 liters, and as time is passing by, we can assume we're talking about units in hours. This is time in hours. We have 20 hours here, so we have 10 hours here. It looks like we're counting by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20. 25 is when we have no volume of gas left. So it's 25 hours later, we run out of gas. Now let's practice finding the domain and range of line segments and rays. What's the domain of question 32? The domain is concerned with from side to side. The smallest value is 2, so we say 2, comma, the largest value is here, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whenever we have a solid dot, it means we include the endpoint, so we put a square bracket. And the hollow dot means not including. So you could say this, or if you prefer, you could say x is greater than or equals to 2, which is less than 8. And the range is concerned about how far does the graph extend vertically only, up and down. The lowest value would be a 3, and the highest value would be a 6. So from 3 to 6, y would be greater than or equals to 3, which is less than 6. And now let's look at this ray. From this point here, which happens to be at -1, 5, this ray is extending downwards and opening forever and ever and ever. So yes, the x value starts here at -1, but it continues on towards the right forever. So we'll say the lowest value is -1, and the highest value is positive infinity, or just infinity. And because we're including the endpoint, we'll use this bracket, and we'll use a soft bracket for infinity. So x is greater than or equals to -1, which is less than infinity. Either of these notations is fine. What about the range? The highest value is 5, and the lowest value is -infinity. We always start lowest to highest. We include the endpoint because it's a solid dot, so we use a square bracket. Whereas -infinity, we put a soft bracket. So you could say -infinity is less than y is less than or equals to 5. But I think most people would simply say y is less than or equals to 5. This part here is a bit extraneous and not necessary.